Welcome to the Best Self Podcast. You aren't seeing things. That is Sheri Riley. She is a rock star. We are so excited to have the pride of the ATL on here, empowerment speaker. And, for all our listeners out there, the things that I can guarantee you when you leave today is this lady, she is going to, for the next 25, 30 minutes, do everything she can to transform your lives. She's going to transform your soul print. She's going to leave you feeling. And that's what you're all about, friend. I'm so glad you're here.
I am excited. Thank you so much. I've been looking forward to this conversation ever since you reached out. So I am excited. Yes.
I am pumped. I mean, we have people on here and I love them all. We've built a lot of great relationships, but man, just having a conversation with you and someone that's got so many similar vibes and juice to them, and just what rolls you out of bed every morning is just, it's awesome. I've heard you talk about your story. You're a small town girl out of Kentucky, I believe.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you were, as you were growing up, people kept telling you you can't. There's no way you're going to make it happen. You're not going to become this. Just forget about it. And then you become it. You work with people like Usher and oh boy, a bunch of I've written a Warner
Tony
Brothers.
Braxton.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, Turner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, big city and big city action, small town girl. And then you decide, I'm done with this. You've kind of hit your ceiling, you felt like. How did you know that you'd kind of tapped out? When was it you realized that?
I crashed and I burned.
Yeah. Yeah.
I resigned from LaFace Records, and people go, "Oh my God, why did you resign?" I said, well, actually, the real version is I crashed and I burned. And what happened, Brad, is I had this amazing career, as you shared, small town girl, was able to buy my mom a home by the age of 27, six-figure income, like working with these amazing artists, as you referenced, Tony Braxton, Outkast. And I literally had this amazing career, but I didn't have a good life.
Yeah.
I literally was spending 100% of my time on 10% of who I was and expecting 100% of my fulfillment. And in that, I literally crashed and burned. So it was, it was the greatest thing that happened to me, because on the back end, I realized, working on a record label was only one of my dreams. Now I'm able to pursue the other things that I want to do. But at the time, it was horrible.
Yeah.
I was, I was unhealthy. My hair was falling out. Even though I would see my family, I really wasn't present because my mind was always circling around what I needed to do for work. And at the core of it, it's like these amazing material things, but I didn't have peace.
Right. Yeah. You bring up peace.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how you put it, but man, I saw this line. I was like, oh, I want to steal that one. Leader of like the Peace Rebellion, I think is what you call it. What?
Yeah.
I shot through the roof when I saw that. The Peace Rebellion? That is awesome. What's the Peace Rebellion?
Well, you know what I realized is that every one of us in some way, form, or fashion is pursuing peace, but we're going about it the wrong way. Like, we're thinking if we make the money, if we get the career, if we have the great wife, the great husband, when our children go to school, when we have children, when our children graduate, like there's always this point in time or this external benchmark that we feel will get us to this place of peace and security and calm. And the matter is, none of those things will ever give us peace. And when I first started this journey, it was, back in the late 90s, early 2000, and no one wanted to hear about peace. Everyone was about the floss, the career. And so I really felt this rebellion. Like, I felt like I was coming against everything around me. I was. I mean, everyone was like, Sheri, you sound crazy. No one
Right.
wants kumbaya. And so I really, and I still feel that way. Like
Mm-hmm.
now there's, mindfulness and mental health is more a part of our everyday reality. But
Right.
I still feel like I'm leading the charge because people are still saying they want it, but a lot of people aren't still really committed to what that
Yeah.
means to actually live it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think, why do you, what, why do you think that is? I mean, everyone does say that they want these things. Do you
Mhm.
think it's a lack of knowing where to look? You know what I
That's a
mean?
big piece of it. Yeah, that is a big part of it. That's why I feel so committed to have these conversations, to get up every day, just committed and determined. I tell people all the time, I need people to know about the message,
Mm-hmm.
because I want people to know that peace is possible.
Right.
I think the other part of that is that, people are in such a habit of, what do people say? Oh, how are you doing today? Oh, I just, working hard. How was your day? Oh, I
Yeah.
got so much done.
Yeah.
There's such this idea that the harder you work, it equates to the better you are.
Mm.
So if you said to somebody, okay, well, how are you doing? I didn't do anything today. Then you're gonna you're gonna
Yeah.
look at them like, well, you just wasting time. Versus, okay, power in stillness. There's a power in peace.
Right.
And so a lot of times it's that fear of what am I missing out? What will other people think? And am I not moving in a way that's going to be productive for me if I really tap into that power of peace? And so a lot of the work is just changing the mind paradigm around peace is not being lazy. Peace really is where our power, our clarity, and our courage is existing at.
Yeah. You are you a heart-centered thinker? Are you an inside-out thinker? How would you I mean, is that where peace starts for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's from the inside in. I mean, from the inside out. Like
Yeah.
it's, when I talk about, peace isn't when everything is great. Peace isn't when all the stars are align. Peace isn't when your children are great, your husband and your wife, your family. Peace is a moment by moment internal decision that we make that we're going to tap into the calm and the power that's within us because it's always within us.
Yeah.
The reality, will we be confident enough to tap into it?
Yeah. Man, that's good stuff. That's golden. Uh, because a lot of people are unaware that they're unaware. And a lot of
Yeah,
people have a hard time figuring out who they are. I mean,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, so
Absolutely.
how do you, someone comes up to you
Oh,
and says, "Who am I?" What direction do you think I should go? And what do you say to that person?
oh my gosh. So Brad, in my book, Exponential Living, Stop Spending 100% of your time on 10% of who you are. I tell the story of a client and a good friend, Deanna Hamilton.
Mm.
And when we first started working together, I asked her that question, who are, I'm the senior VP of this. I was formerly the
Right,
chief financial officer of that. I said, okay, that's good. That's your title. Who are you?
right,
She's like, oh, I'm a leader in my community. I said, okay, that's great. That's
mm,
what you do. Who are you?
right.
And then she was like, I just told you who I am. I said, no, you told me what you do. You told me how
Mhm.
you serve, but you still haven't told me who you are.
Yes.
And that's when she realized, I don't know how to answer that question. And so that's the work that I spend so much time on is helping you uncover, helping you discover who you are. And a lot of times, who we are is trapped behind maybe some trauma in our childhood.
Mhm.
And trauma isn't always from a negative experience. Trauma could be from I was a straight A student all through high school. I was straight A student all through college. Now here I am. I'm the top attorney in my law firm, but I don't have a clue what I want to do in my life,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that right there, when you say how does a person not know who they are, because they may have been on a path to get to a destination
yeah,
that never included them. It just
yeah.
included the work that
Right,
the achievements that they obtained.
right.
And so that's a big part of the work that we do is really allowing you to tap into who you are.
I love it. Yeah, because success isn't a destination. I mean, there is no
Yeah.
end to the success road, right? The success is the road.
Right.
Yeah.
That
So,
it is the road, because there's always more. I bought it,
right.
I had the $2 million home. Now I want the $4 million.
Mm-hmm.
I got the $4 million home. Now I want the
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Right. It's like you and collecting your jerseys. I mean, you're, you're
Yes,
not going to be good with the dream team. Bring on the next thing.
that is true, Brad.
Yeah. So funny. You bring up so many cool things. I'm curious. You've had so much success, and the cool part of you is you really are into the road. Like, you have been told you can't. You've probably been passed over. You've burned all that stuff. So along the way, there has to be, I don't know, maybe your answer is going to be peace. I don't know. Is there an it? Is there like a word that you could describe that is the master, like the stimulator of growth for you? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is it
Well, and
peace?
your peace is the word. Peace is
Yeah.
that anchor for me. But I will tell you that, but there's always support words around that, right? So, and those words evolve. So right now, at one point in my life, it was
Mm.
peace, but then there's the and. I can be a wife, and I can be a mother, and I can be a daughter, and I can be a great businesswoman.
Right.
Now I've got to do the work to do all those things. At one point, the word was confidence. I realized, Brad, that I was driven. That's how I have achieved these things, but I wasn't confident,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Drive is what pushed me to achieve. Confidence is who I was when I got there. And the truth of the matter is, there was genuinely a gap. There was this bridge between my drive and my confidence that I had to really stop and do some internal work so that drive and confidence could go. That's why people say imposter syndrome.
Right.
That's why
Right.
people are sitting at the head of the table, but they're not great leaders,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So because they haven't developed that part of them that
Mm.
allows them to really be a true leader. And a leader is someone who wants to serve the people and make them better versus
100%.
what they can accomplish and what they can get. So peace is always the core, but then there's support words that allow me to really continue to grow in my journey.
Oh man, that was so good. Oh, I'm glad I'm recording this thing. What a rock star. So, uh, purpose. Where, so do you believe purpose is an overused word? Do people not understand what the word purpose means? Like, people use purpose all the time. Got to find your purpose, got to find your cause, whatever. Do you feel like it's overused? Do you feel like it's underused? Do they feel like it's like misunderstood?
Oh my gosh, that question. I actually had a conversation with a young lady today about purpose.
Okay.
I have a real issue with
Yes.
I have a real issue with this big idea of I've got to go find my purpose. I'm looking for my purpose. I'm searching for my purpose. The challenge I have with that is purpose is inside of us. And the challenge is everyone's always looking outside of themselves. They're looking for this external,
Yeah.
give me my purpose. I've
Yeah.
found my purpose. And so we spend so much time trying to look externally for something that's inside of us. And so what happens is we jump from church to church. We jump from, guru to guru. We jump from school to school, program to
Yeah.
program, job to job, marriage to marriage, because we're looking for a fulfillment of this clarity of purpose that's external. And so I changed that whole, I'm trying to find my purpose. I'm looking for my purpose, and really go, okay, what is inside of you? What is that still voice that's been talking to you since you were 6, since you were
Yeah.
7, since you were 15? What's that thing that you've been denying because it may not look sexy or it may not make money? What I know I'm gifted to do is listen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gifted to. Now, if I got on, but how do you make money listening? I don't know. How do you make money listening? Well, the reality is, as a coach, as a speaker, it's the listening first that allows me to serve my clients.
Yeah.
So I do have an issue with, the finding of your purpose instead of us just really staying in tune and committed to what's inside of us. And then how do we leverage the strength of what's already in us?
Wow. That is good. That is, she's a big deal. She's the big city, Sheri Riley from the ATL. So how do I always talk about eliminating the fluff in our life. I believe I've heard you talk about removing non-essentials.
Yes.
I agree. I mean, I think a lot of this stuff ties in. You're talking about, kind of relating to working harder versus smarter earlier. If you weren't focusing 100% of your stuff on 10% and whatnot, you'd probably be able to actually free up space in your life, probably make more money in the process doing it. What are some of the non-essentials that our listeners right now that are common? You get a lot of clients and whatnot that you coach, you talk to companies. What are some of the non-essentials that we could eliminate right now today?
Yeah. So one of the biggest ones is I would say is kind of the guide for identifying the non-essentials, and that is learning the power of saying no. So a lot of times we say yes to things for a whole bunch of reasons: fear of hurting someone's feelings, all of these other things. But when we learn to say no, now what do we say no to? Well, what I teach my clients to do is identify the three important things that you're going to focus on, right? In all areas of your life, not three in business, three in the community, three in my health goals, three in my family, because now we've got a list of 30 things, right? But the three most important things in all the areas of your life. Then go through and identify everything that's on your to-do list, whatever directly or indirectly impacts or moves those three things forward, that you keep on your to-do list. If it doesn't, take it off. Yeah, so, awesome. Remove it. So when you remove, what you're going to find out is there's things on your to-do list that, one, are chronologically out of order, meaning they're on your to-do list for January, but they're really not, there's something you're not even supposed to focus on until May or March, because it's not that time. Yes. The second thing you're going to identify is there things on your list that you just shouldn't do. Someone else should be doing them. Either hire a VA, your children could be doing them. I tell wives all the time, let your husband wash those towels and put them up, right? Doesn't matter that they're not going to be folded the way you want them folded. Right. Let him wash the towels and put them up. So there's things you just shouldn't be doing. And then the third is there's things that just aren't important, that you're not even going to remember them when you take them off your to-do list. Yeah. So in that identifying, what do I say no to? In identifying what are the three most important things that I need to focus on so that you can then get rid of the distractions, what that allows you to do, and this is the big key, is when you're able to really identify when an opportunity is a distraction, that's when you really get to the core of what's essential, right? Yeah. There's so many things that it's a great opportunity, but it's really a distraction because it doesn't really align with what you're focused on and what's going to move you forward. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I talk about having too many socks in the top drawer. Yeah. So now you're trying to pull the drawer out. Exactly. Weed some of those bad boys out. Yes. Yeah. And then we're just busy, but we're not productive. Right. And here's another big thing is I with my clients, I tell them, I don't ask them, what do you want to do? Right. I ask them, what do you want to achieve? Because when I ask you what you want to do, you give me a lot of great ideas. But when I ask you what you want to achieve, you have to give me action steps. Yeah. So that's a big key. Stop going, what do I want to do today? Man, that and say, awesome. What do I need to achieve today? Yeah. That is fantastic. I haven't put it like that, but that is a much sexier way to put it than the way I put it. Everyone wants to set goals, and goals are great. But what habits are you going to put together? What systems are you going to put in place that are going to give you those goals? Kind of the same concept for sure. Man, I'm just going to keep you for about 5 more minutes, and then I am kicking Riley Nation
to the curb.
Say, I got to go.
Yes, you got to go.
Yeah.
I don't care if your hair looks good and you got great jerseys and you got the dream team. You're going, sister.
Gotta go. Hopefully I can come back one day.
Well, we'll see. If you behave for these last 5 minutes, we'll think about it.
Okay, the pressure is on.
Yeah. Well, I had someone approach me recently, and we were talking about business and making money and thinking big and living abundantly, that kind of stuff. How does a person, because we talk success, but making money's cool too.
Yeah.
Making money's cool. How does a person think big, think about the top end, but also manage the bottom end? That's a tough one, because you're wanting to think big,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to also be able to manage that bottom end. Do you have any great advice for that?
Oh my gosh. I tell people all the time, and that was what we talked about earlier, like,
Mm-hmm.
The rebellion around peace and being
Mm-hmm.
that peace activator, is because what I had to convince people of is when I talk about the power of peace, I'm not talking about kumbaya in the corner. Really, and I tell people, I'm a capitalist. I love to make money. I'm a businesswoman. I love building a very successful business. I
Mm-hmm.
love achievement. I am A-type personality. I love to win. I am
Yes.
very, very competitive.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, so tell people, like, it doesn't negate all those things. When you look at a Tom Brady, when you look at a Michael Jordan, when they're out on that field, when they're on that court, when they are dominating, they're not frantic and, oh my God, what are we going to do? We got to figure it out. They are in this total place of peace and power.
Yes.
And in that, they elevate to the highest level of achievement, of success, influence, of mental capacity, of performance. They literally are at the peak of who and what they are. And so what I tell people is the way you manage the high and the low is by that power of peace, because it allows you to keep the vision of the excellence you want to achieve. And it also allows you to have the grace and the mercy and the humility to recognize what to say no to, what's not important, and still how to be gracious and kind and considerate of others, because you recognize from humility, it's not about you. It's about what you can do to help yourself and help others. And so that's why I call it exponential living, because exponential means you're taking the best of what you have to the 10th degree or to that next level. And so it really is about the highest level of success, but being 100% of who you are versus being that 10% of who you are.
Yeah. That was I know it's not something you thought of overnight. It's who you are. That book is who you are. So it's something you would become over many years. But man, what an awesome concept. I absolutely adore that concept. It is fantastic, and it's so true. Some of the stuff that you talk about, I don't know if you ever have this stuff, like you see someone, or you see the way they go about doing, or you see something, you're like, or maybe like an invention, and you're like, why didn't I think of that? Like, that's so true and so simple. Why didn't I think of that? And then your book's kind of like that. Like, yeah, that makes really good sense, and that's gold. Why aren't more people talking about that? It is, you
And it
are,
is very simple. I
yeah.
love that you said that. It's very simple. I even say in the book, I didn't go on this journey to teach you anything new. I went on this journey to generally tap into what's already in you.
Right.
So I appreciate you acknowledging that, because it really is in all of us.
100%, man. Again, kind of, I feel like you're my twin sister on the other side of the United States here. Real common. I talk to people, same type stuff, like ceiling leaks. What you have, what you need is already inside you. It's just a matter of sealing leaks. And that's kind
Yes.
of cross curricular. I mean, you and I off air were talking about baseball. in sports, if you're looking to have, if you're looking to be a better version of yourself, you've probably got, and you kind of feel like you're plateauing, you're in the middle ground there. You've probably got some mental leaks. You've got some leaks. And if you could just seal those leaks, whether you're an athlete or a CEO or a teacher or a student or whatever, we all got it in the tank. So.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes.
Well, if I hang around Sheri enough, I might start getting a whole lot smarter.
I think we've got some mutual camaraderie that we could definitely share with each other.
Yes.
You see, we both came in our red.
I know.
So there's something there.
There's something going on. I don't know. I had a green tea before I came in here. Maybe there was something in it. You're spiking my drink over from cross country or something.
Okay, I had a green tea right before we did our call as well.
Wow. Maybe you're really stalking me.
Where's the cameras, right?
Yeah. Okay, is there a song that embodies Riley Nation?
Oh my God, I love music. That is like, you know what? Everyone that you may or may not know, but it's on Yolanda Adams, who is a phenomenal gospel artist. She has a song, Believe. The name of the album is Believe, and the song is Believe. And it really talks about, what you can do and how you can impact when you believe. And the words, just whenever I'm honestly at a moment where, can I really do this? Like, can I really do this? Whatever that is. It may be a challenge with my daughter. It may be an area my husband and I are trying to stay in alignment. It may be somewhere I'm stretching in the business. I go to that album, I go to that song, and just really tap into those words of you gotta believe.
Love it. Love it. I do like watching you and your hubby chat it up too. I've seen you guys. I haven't seen all of your stuff, but I stumbled across a couple. It's a funny relationship.
Yes. And that is our normal banter. Like, that is
it's entertaining. Even if I came out of it with nothing, I would come away entertained.
Yes.
Very good. Well,
yes.
Hey sister, we've got 30 to 45 seconds left. You got 30 to 45 seconds to talk to our audience. How can they out-improve their previous best self? How can they out-improve their previous best self?
What I would highly recommend is making sure that you are constantly living in the place where people are receiving from your overflow. And what I would say is we have to stop living out of an empty cup. We've got to stop serving from our fumes. So when we fill our cup, if you can imagine a cup, and this is the saucer, and there's water flowing over the saucer from the cup, make sure that your cup is so full that everything is flowing from you literally here, and people are being served. People are being served from the overflow. So stop serving from your fumes, fill your cup first, and allow everyone in your world, in your family, your business, your church, your community, allow them to be served your brilliance from your overflow.
Oh. Well, you're beautiful inside and out, sister. I really
thank you.
I appreciate your time. I know you are a wanted Chiquita, and for you to spend your evening with us, it's been a blessing and an honor. So,
I love your energy, Brad. I love your energy. I love it.
Well, I appreciate it. I ran out of good things to say early about you, so I've just been kind of riding the fumes for the last 25 minutes. So, anyway, you make it a great day.
Thank you. I look forward to us connecting soon.
Amen. Take care.
Bye-bye.